Hi, I'm Pat Fish. I'm the owner of Tattoo Santa Barbara and CEO of Lucky Fish Incorporated. And in this little video I'd like to do the needle shtick. I want to tell you about what I do with the needles to make sure that this tattoo experience is safe and sterile for your enjoyment. I want you to feel that you are trusting me with your aesthetics, so that I'm going to be doing art on your body that you wear forever, and also that you're not placing your health at risk. The first most important thing is I'm going to show you the needles. These are single-use tattoo needles. They've never been used before. They'll never be used again. I happen to buy them from a factory in Japan. It's amazing. They can make these with machines. I used to solder them myself. I don't do that anymore because I can buy them like this, and then I throw the whole thing into a biohazard containment unit. That means that they're going to be taken away and melted down as hazardous waste. There's no way to adequately sterilize down in between all those tiny thin needles. This is a multiple needle setup to be able to do either a nice clean line or to shade and color. There is no way to return this to medically sterile. So just like a hypodermic needle, it is necessary that if you go into a tattoo shop, you see them disposing of the needles after they do a tattoo in a biohazard containment unit. The other part of the tattoo machine that's very important are the tubes. These tubes are the front end of a tattoo machine, and they've been taken off of the machine and cleaned and then autoclave sterilized in these packages. The tube itself is like the tools where your dentist picks at your teeth. They don't throw those away. So they have, and we have here, a method of returning them to medically sterile. The way that we do that is we take the tube when it's got blood and ink on it, and we put it into an ultrasonic machine with heated ammoniated soap. That buzzes the whole thing clean. Then we rinse it underneath some water, and we look at it very closely, and then we put them into these bags. These bags change color when they're processed. When they start out, they're light blue up here at the top. They're dark brown when they're finished. That gives us a visual every single time that they have gone through the process correctly. I also check that machine every 2 weeks with an independent spore testing. Okay, wait a minute. Times have changed. It used to be that autoclaving was a religious thing for me. I believed it was crucial to make sure that everything I used had been autoclave sterilized or was single use. But times have changed. There's a whole new class of diseases out there that we have to worry about. The prion diseases. This is bovine spongiform encephalopathy, mad cow disease, and Alzheimer's, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease new variant, chronic wasting disease. These are all caused by something called a prion. A prion cannot be killed by autoclaving. This is a nightmare. This thing is a folded protein, so it is not alive. This means that if medical or dental or tattoo equipment is used on one person, run through an autoclave, and used again, that class of diseases cannot be killed by the autoclaving. For me, this is a huge moral problem. I'm really worried about this. I don't want to be responsible that just because somebody got a tattoo, there's a disease that I now know that I can't get rid of with claving. So, quite a number of years ago, I found out about prion diseases, and I decided that I had to change my methods. So I no longer autoclave anything. I only use single use. And I'm telling you, I think this is the only way that all tattoo artists should work. The tube and the entire needle setup are all single use. Everything here is used and then it's either thrown away or it goes into a biohazard. This is a tube from Japan. There's a bunch of different manufacturers that make these now. You use them once, you throw them away. They're made out of plastic and rubber. And here's the needle, which is from the same factory, comes sterile, use it once, dispose of it in the biohazard. This is crucial. It is not adequate if somebody does all the rest of it, doesn't do their doesn't cross-contaminate in the workplace, doesn't touch their face and then go ahead and tattoo, any of that stuff. All of that goes by the wayside if they're still using those metal tubes. I'm telling you that this is what I believe is morally correct to do. It's what I think is the only way for me to do business and not feel like I'm setting somebody up. These diseases are weird. They're as much different from a regular disease as a mushroom is from a vegetable. And they're going to be lurking in our environment, and I don't want to put you at risk. And so I've made this moral choice. I bought several years worth of disposable tubes and needles so that the factory can go out of business and I'm still okay. Because I won't be autoclaving anymore. I won't be setting anybody up for that. And you got to think about that when you go and get your next tattoo. So I suggest to you that you need to be an informed consumer. This means that when you come into a tattoo studio, what you want to see is a setup that's going to be disposable. Just like you'd expect a clean place setting at a restaurant, it's not adequate if there's going to be stuff that's going to be used and then reused on the next person. So there should be clean little caps that the ink goes into so that the sterile ink is used out of those caps and then that's all thrown away. There should be a place setting where there's a barrier control so that it doesn't get all over the countertop. And anything that's being touched by the artist, there should be a barrier so that it's not going to get contaminated with your blood or the blood of the person in front of you. Now, all of this is the moral part of my job. I consider it extremely important, and it's because I believe in the law of karma. I believe in the golden rule. I get tattooed, and I am completely concerned that if I don't do all this correctly for you, then it's, you know, what if the next time I get a tattoo, I get tattooed with contaminated equipment? I don't want that to happen. I don't want it to be on my karma that I did something bad for you, and I don't want to have it done to me. So I do everything I possibly can to make sure that the equipment that I use is sterile, ready to go, and then all I have to worry about is doing the best job I can artistically. All you have to do is worry about holding still. So I want to suggest to you that you are now an informed consumer. This means that if your friends say that they're going to go to somebody's house or to a party or to some other situation that's not professional and they're going to get a tattoo, well, you know, maybe you can now speak up to them and you can tell them that it might not be the best idea. You know, somebody tells you that Chewy's going to do the tattoo for a six-pack and a blowjob and it'll be cheaper than what you paid. You tell them that, no, actually, you went to somebody who's been thinking about this kind of thing for 20 years and really cares and runs a legitimate business and has done everything possible to make sure you don't get any more than what you paid for. And, you know, everybody's got a mother, so when your mother says, oh my God, you took such a risk, I can't believe you probably caught hepatitis, oh my God. Well, you know what? Now you got material. Now you can go back and you can reassure your mom that you went to a place that's legit, that sterilizes and cares. And I want you to feel confident because now we're going to do the tattoo. Now you just have to worry about how much it's going to hurt.